What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 62, picking up from beside the Great Bridge. So, with last episode, we were all but wrapped up with Fair Missoula, aside for your last little string of bosses, and then one little optional area over here, which will lead to your platinum trophy with the few items we have to pick up. That being said, the first thing we're going to be doing is going after placidusax, a very secret hidden boss, although he's well known now. A lot of people miss this the first playthrough because he's just really tucked off. So, with that being said, he's going to be an ancient dragon, essentially the ancient dragons to end all ancient dragons. This guy has multiple heads. He can blow fire. He can do lightning. You're pretty much dealing with AoEs the entirety of the fight. There's always lightning raining all around you. He can turn his head all the way behind himself and blow fire backwards, smack you with his tail, and it's just a lot of bullshit. So we want a plus 10 mimic at least going into this fight. So we have a solid distraction that's not going to get put down too easily, as he's a version of you. He should be able to hang on for most of this fight. Just to work as a solid distraction, we're working charged heavies, using stone barbed cracked here, and then whatever you have to boost your damage. You can use other buffs and things of that nature if you feel like that's going to help you out. But firstly, I'd probably try to learn the fight. Now, I don't think phase one's that hard. Like, you'll get hit a bunch probably and just heal through it. But if you can, break his stagger, get a critical attack before you know it, you're in phase two. Well, when phase 2 starts, he's going to flap into the air and turn to a cloud. And when he does this, he flies all around. He's going to come at you with like lightning claws that form out of his hands into like one big swipe. He's going to repeat this a few times. And you're just trying to, be patient, dodge through it, don't panic, and then try to get back to him. And it is kind of cowardly a bit because, if you dodge that attack, you go to hit him, he'll disappear again. It's like, I can get to you, but I don't want you getting to me. And I always find that frustrating. Aside from that, if he uses a bolt of grand sacks, he'll stab this into the ground. This is going to be a literal nuke. You're going to see a holy beam come from the sky and blow up the whole fucking arena. So just run away from this. But the big thing is, when you almost have him dead, he'll get to the far side of the arena and he'll spew fire across the whole arena from both of his heads, and then he'll actually turn into this holy beam and it'll one-shot you. I don't care what your health is, you're dead. That's all there is to it. So what we're going to do to combat this is we're going to craft some uplifting aromatics. So right when we see that attack coming, we'll throw that on. That will allow us to tank that hit and hopefully be able to put him down. And like I said, I want to do this first because it may take multiple attempts here, and I do want to make sure, we're able to fit the rest of Farum into this episode. I mean, we might be fighting this guy 20, 30 minutes. We might fight him for 5. You just don't know because it's, it's a very difficult, very dreadful fight, very frustrating fight. Of everything I was dreading, it's not Millennia, it's not Moog, it's this fucking guy, because he's just exhausting. So if you go straight on out, working your way down, we did show you guys where this was last episode, so you guys, you should know. But just going backwards from your left and, go down the stairs, run straight up to the left just a little bit, and you will see these little drop-off points. And we're just going to follow this all the way down into the arena. Also, I did throw on a great rune to raise our base stats, get a little bit more health, a little bit more mana, and a little bit more stamina for the fight using Dawn's great rune. If you guys would like to do that, it's going to help. We get all the way down. This is platform here. So all you're going to do is go right here, lie down. Now, lore-wise, placidusax controls time. So even though the castle's falling apart, it's very decrepit, it's outlived itself, he's going to bring the castle back to its former glory, rewinding time. Now, doing so is going to just build an arena for you to fight him in. Alright, so there he is. Very intimidating guy. He's just kind of floating in the sky waiting on you to try to act tough. Just so you can fucking remind you how tough you're not. Either way, we're going to buff up. Remember, stone barb cracked here is going to be big here to break his stance. Probably just two-hand our weapon the whole time. Shield's not going to do much good here. Then aside from that, the aromatic, and that's important, but this is going to be more for like the very end of his fight. You see how he comes in with the AoE lightning, you can't really get to him. We'll probably just use our axe. We might get popped once or twice. Watch your placement, watch your lightning work. You can try to time roll through it, time dodge. I'm not just trying to spam our action before, but it's the only way to actually get to him until this settles. When it settles, we can get on into a melee and try to break his stance. Now look at the ranger's fire too. There's his lightning claws. So he's doing the oh shit, run. We're gonna get popped. We're gonna get popped. We're gonna make it. Yeah, I told you, fucking nuke, dude. We use that bolt of grand sacks. It is a fucking nuke. So hopefully just get to him, work off some charged heavy. Break his stance. Crit. We're almost new phase. might start floating in the sky. Yeah, so you've officially entered phase 2. So now, what I'll do is I'll just pan the camera around until I see a cloud a little bit fast. Because its placement will always change. There you go. Watch! Yeah, damn, one shot. We were at full health, guys. You see what I'm talking about? And that's what you're dealing with. That's why it feels like utter bullshit a lot of the times. Because it's just fucking one shot, bro, at full health. I mean, we had about 60 levels in health with our great room. Absolutely ridiculous. It gets to a point where you're doing too fucking much. We'll get it. Like I told you, we don't know how long this fight's gonna take, so we'll be knocking it out first. And technically, like, Maliketh is a much harder fight. But for whatever reason, I'll run through that one because he doesn't have that much health. This guy his health is astronomical. But his damage is even worse. Usually I don't get hit by that, but you've got to find his placement so you can perfectly line up those dodges. It's not hard to learn. Like, you'll learn it quick. But if you can't see it, it doesn't do you any good. But hopefully things will line up a little bit better for us this time. I mean, even the bolt of Grand Sax, I knew it was coming because I know the attack. But I never saw him put the lightning bolt in the ground on the screen. I'm sure you guys didn't either. I just happened to know what he was doing because I've done the fight so much. I'm not embarrassed to say either. This guy killed me more times than any other boss. Probably all other bosses combined, Millennia included. I beat Millennia so this is my first Souls game when it came out. First came out, it's the first one ever, right? And I heard nightmares about Millennia, and she was fucking hard. Maybe it's just luck, but I beat her 5th try. And no one believed me because I spent days or months on this. But people are different. Everyone sees different patterns in their heads and stuff. So some fights might be easier for some people, but harder for you. Some fights might be harder for some people, but easier for you. And she wasn't the one that killed me a million times. It was this douchebag. But you see why. You fucking see why. Make sure to pan that camera down so you see what that light does. Yeah, God, I think I'm a little right into it. Remember, he can turn his head around and blow fire at you, right? So, try to remember that. Oh, you're gonna run away? That's tough. Run away. That shit goes on so long too, guys. If you're not at 50, 60 health when you go in here, you're probably gonna one-shot you because by the time before you can even get up, he's doing it again. Fire again. You shit. Now remember, if you're gonna do your special attack when he gets up, he has iframes for a split second, so try to hold off. It's going to phase 2. Yep, you got that little extra damage in there. Yeah, so that's phase 2. Try that shit again. But you gotta figure out where the fuck he is, or you're just not gonna survive this area. So wait on it. Now, turn around. Big swipe. It's usually a follow-up to that. And look, he's gone before you can get a hit off. Oh, dude, right into that shit. What the fuck? Where did that even come from, brother? We'll get it. So I said I want to make sure we save the time on the episode. Yeah, like I said, extraordinarily fucking frustrating. Extraordinarily fucking frustrating. I guess, I mean, we could come back, but we're not gonna... We'll get levels, but you gotta remember, we've already pretty much reached our caps. We're not gonna get much more damage coming back later. We're pretty much up to 50. You know what I'm saying? So, coming back ain't gonna do you much good. That's for sure. It's not gonna give you any added benefit. I mean, there's some other weapons we'll get in Consecrated Snowfields. They're pretty dope. I think it's more of just different choices and not so much better weapons. You see what I'm saying? So, you're just not going to get any better shapes. You might as well stick with it now. Yeah, if you guys are struggling, I'm sure some of you are. Some of you may have just blew right through it. Maybe came down here and spammed Taker's Flame enough to put him down. Even that, it's not really doing that much damage though. But some of you might blew through it. But if you're not, you guys can come back anytime you want. Me, it's in the notes for this episode, so it needs to be done. I don't have a choice. I just gotta, deal with it. Fortunately, trust me, I don't feel like being a hard-headed right now, but we're gonna get it done. Like I said, we're not gonna get any stronger. Not really, a little bit. We might get 10, 20 more hits of damage, but does it matter with the health bar like this? No. It just doesn't. Like I said, we could try to buff. Usually anytime I'm doing all that extra shit, I never beat them, and then it's like the next time I'll come in with no buffs. That's when I take enemies out. That's why I wasn't really worried about too much, but I mean, we can. Be patient, watch your lightning here. Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit still left, but I guess we'll still hit that. Even though he's delayed, he will get you. He will get you. Fire, try and circle around. Did it work? Good. Thank you. So far, so good. They said phase 1 really isn't that bad. Phase 2 where you're in trouble. You know what I mean? Gone before we get to it. Follow up. Alright, you pussy. There goes again. Come on. Yeah, I never get that one either because you like perfectly dodge it and it's like a delayed explosion, which I understand, but never understood the timing. Stop. Time to take a break, though. Jesus. We're dead. Yeah. That wasn't a bad run either, because if we would have staggered him one more time, I think we would have got him. Yeah, we would get more damage out of our weapon too if I went to respec with Renala and just brung strength to 60 now, faith to like 40, and just level faith for the rest of the game. But I lose access to some of my spells. Because even though you have B scaling and faith and C and strength, you're always going to get more damage from physical. Always. It's not a far run back, but God, is it tedious. Alright guys, let's go on down doing the same shit, hope for a different outcome. You know, definition of insanity. Why not? I don't feel like buffing my damage for 20 minutes. So, Exalted Flesh gives you 20% more damage. Our spells give us 40%. It's not as good, but it's definitely quicker. Watch that lightning is, guys. Watch that lightning is. Oh, I thought he was staggered. He was blowing fire. Stagger now, ain't you, bitch? Ain't you, bitch? Iframe for a second, so wait off. Then hit your attack. Drop that damage. Mimic, you're doing beautiful. Now it's just live a little bit. You know what I mean? Let's try to survive this buff. Where are you, motherfucker? Now! Turn around. First. Thank you. Doing it pretty good on that one. Quickly. Oh, you're such a bitch, bro. Alright, where is he? Wait for it. Yep, and see that? Perfectly dodge through it, then you get hit. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, this is pretty impressive. Gotta give it to him. God, look at that thing. Come here, you motherfucker. That's okay. Put that dust and death off. Now we're in trouble. Let's me get him dead. Gotta love that aromatic, though. Gotta love that aromatic. Where'd he go? Alright, he's about to get into his laser beams here, most likely. Or is it not yet? Nope, not yet. There we go. Where's my... Alright, he's still with us. He's still hanging on. Did you get fucking staggered? Oh, you motherfucker. Yeah. Right into it. And we're dead. Not yet, we're still in it. He's so close, bro. Thank you. So that was close, because that was the nuke. That would have killed us. That would have been one shot. But that's, it's important to read. Like, if you're one fucking hit away and he's about to do a nuke, you'd probably run away, get caught anyways, and then die. So, you don't want to do that. We were able to pull that off, but that was close. And that's what I was saying. You're not playing it any differently. I didn't play it any different than the last time I did the first time. Just lined up better, And that's what it's going to come down to. It's just one of those edge of your seat, very hard fucking fight. We'll wait for boss remembrances because we're going to have more. So we'll put that off for a second. Now it's probably one of the more difficult things done. Going back to the bridge, we're going to go on forward. Ooh, I don't think we're that far from a level. here. Oh, yeah. Definitely can. Look at that, y'all. One more will be at that 50-50 mark, so anything else is just extra damage. That's what I said. As long as you can get 50-50 on dual stat build, you're good, dude. You're good. So going up to the bridge before we go for Maliketh, before we go for the Draconic Tree Sentinel, what you're going to do is just turn around here. Like I said, guys, if you feel like you can't get placidusax done yet, come back later. Just stick with it, though. That's what I would do. Just learn those dodge times. Hopefully things get lined up. Now, you notice that last time he didn't do that crazy laser ability, and that's what I told you. That was the only reason I wasn't really beating him. But if you get lucky and he doesn't do that, that's your chance. Don't fuck up. You know, it doesn't get any easier, but, I mean, at least you don't have to worry about that one shot. Then the uplift and the aromatic still helped a bit when we were getting caught. Alright, so going on out over there to the left is going to be your Somber 8. There's only like 2 of these guys alive, most are like dead. And when you go down, we're going to get invaded by Bernal. So everyone knows this Vike is the closest Tarnished to get to become an Elden Lord. He went to the capital, went below, and got corrupted by the madness instead. The lore you haven't learned is that Bernal was actually closer. Bernal made it past the capital. He made it to Mountaintops of the Giants. Hell, he made it to killing of the first flame, and he sacrificed his maiden like you would have done with Melina. But guess what? When she sacrificed herself to burn the Earth Tree, nothing happened. So he felt betrayed by the Two Fingers. The reason it worked for us is because Melina is America's daughter. She was special. But with that being said, I think the Two Fingers just saw a prophecy of this happening, so they thought any maiden would do. So his maiden was killed. He felt betrayed. He joined the Volcano Manor. Now, years pass. We join the Volcano Manor, prove ourselves to them by doing invasions. But then when we burn the Erd Tree down, he sees now that we truly serve the Golden Order. And that makes him feel betrayed again. So he's going to come and attack us. Now, getting on over here. Don't go away to that building because there's beasts in there too. Just wait on him. Because we don't want to get into it with these guys. So that's the scepter. If he rams that weapon off the ground, it says a smooth day wheel will pull you in and steal your health, so watch out for that. And he's also going to have one heal. Yeah, there we go. I was about to say, I was hoping he'd go for it so I can get it right back. Slowly wearing down. He does a lot of damage, so there's his special. You're going to use yours. Bye-bye. Oh, no, not us. Not us. Thank you. So with that, you're going to get the Blasphemous Claw. It's actually a utility item, quest item, that you could use for Maliketh when we go to take him out. Beast Champion armor, which looks really good when altered. You get out of cape, and then you're going to get his weapon, which is a legendary armor needed for your party. I feel like our shield should be working, but maybe that's just me. So don't rush in here. Oh, saved by the upgrade. That was fucking close. Alright guys, so with that cleared, this is going to be a legendary talisman needed for platinum. Old Lord's Talisman extends the effect of spells. So that's going to be pretty obscure. It's also going to be very specific to what you're doing. So if you're doing a casting build, it might be something to look at, play around with. Alright guys, so now that that's all caught up, the only thing left to do is Maliketh, and then you also are going to have, we'll go and put this on for those that want to do this. So Maliketh sends like arcs and waves of death build up at you. Death and death build up at you. That lets you parry it. Just like that. But you got to time it. It's, not that easy to do. Either way, on the way to him, you're going to have another Draconic Tree Sentinel right up here. At the start of the fight, you always have, a few free hits on them. You notice, dude's got fucking health. Brother's got health. A little bit late on very steady too, guys. Very, very steady, guys. And when his arm comes down, that's your time to dodge. Watch out for the wave. Get it off, we did. Dodge. Follow. Oh, God. Alright, you good. Jesus. It's okay. Alright, so once you have that annoying piece of shit taken out, just pick up the rest of your, your items here. So Malformed Dragon Armor, Gauntlets, Greaves, and then you also got his helmet. Pretty wicked looking set. Not exactly a cool way, but it's very unique, very wicked. Guess the gauntlets don't matter so much. Wild looking. I don't think it really looks good, but someone out there might like it. Back to that. And that, yeah. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump back and rest. Then we're going to go and fight Maliketh. So Maliketh is Grank. Now, if you're worried about not completing Grank's quest because he didn't move on, don't worry about it. Even if you take him out here, as they are the same person, you are going to still be able to do his quest line. It doesn't matter. I've tested this. You're good to go. Either way, so Maliketh is Grank. Phase 1 is very much how we did Grank earlier when we aggroed him by giving him too much death root. So he's going to be doing bistro incantations, grabbing the ground, throwing rocks and shit at you. You're just, trying to summon up, let them distract, get some big hits in if you can. Phase 2 is the real problem. Now, when Phase 2 happens, he's jumping all around everywhere. He's got this huge great sword that does death and death. He's throwing these big arcs at you. So like I said, you have Blasphemous Claw. If you can time those, you'll be able to just get parries off. It's not that simple. It's better to just dodge through it, be really aggressive. As difficult as he is, and he is difficult, Stonebarb Fracture is going to help because he doesn't even have the best posture, and his health is not impressive. Now, as soon as you go in, there's going to be a bridge right here. As fast as possible, get off this bridge. He will knock you down. In fact, your first attempt is your best attempt. If you do not get this first attempt, he's going to rush that bridge. So just dodge, try to use the shield. Yeah, very dead. You see what I'm saying? It's one of those DPS checks. So pretty much, you do a bunch of damage to him, or he's going to do a bunch of damage to you. That's out. That's how it is. Unfortunately, we got caught there. It was a little bit off of my timing. Probably got a little antsy too. When you get in these difficult fights like that, it's so fucking easy to panic. So you do want to try to be patient with the guy. Now, typically, when you go back in, this is the hard part because it's a slow entrance the first time. But the second time it's coming through your neck, the fight's already started. So what I would typically do is try to run it. Don't summon yet. You got to run out of the way. Try to get behind a pillar and then summon, or you're just going to pay for it. Especially with Mimic. It costs half your health. So these can be much. You see how much closer he is? I wouldn't even worry about your souls. Try to heal through it, Alright, now we got some help now. That's how you play it. Dodge a big ship. Use Mimic as a distraction. Try to get behind. You might even be better just with light attacks, guys. You know, you don't get me wrong. Heavy attacks are great, and it's the main way. But I think a lot of people are under the false impression that heavy attacks are the only way to break a boss's stagger. It's not true. Enough of anything is going to do it. It just takes a lot longer with light attacks. But I mean, he has a lot of poise. I'm not saying that he's a big guy, but not as much as most bosses. Not as much as you would think. So, the Rune of Death is on his arm. He stabs that, and that creates his weapon. That's what you're going to see play out here. Now, if you guys remember how Blythe was Ronnie's shadow, well, the rank, Maliketh, was the shadow of America. So, as you may imagine, fucking tough guy. She was a god. You know? So, if he's a shadow of her, he's going to be very critical. Now, this is where shit goes crazy. But all that posture damage you did in phase 1, that's actually carry over to phase 2. God damn. Yeah, we're dead. That's his special attack. So if he stabs that into the ground, you see those arcs kind of fly everywhere. Whenever he serves, he's like super weak to death and death too. Like I said, this is a really, really hard fight, but it goes quick. Either you die really fast, or he dies really fast. That's how it is. You could use a little bit extra resources here. The fight, you know, if you're playing this fight right, it doesn't last long though. Like, even if you die quick, you're playing it right, you know. This fight's supposed to go fast. You need it to go fast. You don't want to fucking play with this guy. You do not. You guys saw what just happened there, and you ain't seen a fraction of his moveset in phase 2. It's very difficult. Timing is everything. And you could try to stare and summon right away and go through it. Problem is, if he happens to rush to that bridge, he will knock you right off of it. Just use that shield, use the dodges. Just really erratic. Yeah, I'm using heavies, but I'm trying not to charge. Phase 1 might even be harder. Phase 2 is really erratic, so it seems harder. But this guy, man, wicked. He's just coming. I don't know how he's gonna miss that attack. Or I should work stretch coach this guy. It'll fuck him up bad. Yeah, look at that. Phase 1, now let's get into the hard shit. That's what's crazy, yep. You'll do it. Just to death with the heat at you the whole time. There goes that fucking savage. Usually he is, oh, we got caught. He is a lot easier to stack. Stay on him. There he is. Fight stuff. Just stay on him. His health is not impressive. Like I said, DPS check. If you don't put him down really fast, he's gonna put you down really fast. But placidusax took us multiple tries. It was a long fight. This guy, what, like third try, first try, we're showing his moveset and talking about it. It's like 2 honest tries, and yeah, goes down like everybody else. So with that, the Rune of Death is now ours. And you're going to be automatically teleported back to the Ashen Capital, which was the capital, but now it's covered in ash because when you set the Earth Tree ablaze, all the ashes just fall into the earth, right? So it has changed the whole capital. And there's a lot of stuff going on here too, guys, but we're not worried about it right now. What we're going to do is just grab our Side of Grace, because this is the end of the game. We don't want to touch this yet. We still have actually quite a bit to do. You'd be surprised. But, excuse me, technically all you got to do is work your way up to the main boss and get your endings. However, you'd be missing legendary talismans over here. You'd be missing Consecrated Snowfields, which has multiple trophies. You'd be missing the Halic Tree, which is involved in multiple trophies. So all this stuff does matter. We're going to jump back to Maliketh the Black Blade. I think I got like 50,000 souls. You know, I'm being petty, but I'm getting them. There they are. And with that, we're wrapped up. We are going to go over the boss members he's about to pick up, because both of them are super good, depending on your build. Super good. Very powerful, which is to be expected being at the end of the game. But yeah, they're exceptionally powerful. Look at that, man. Dead on. 50, 25, 25, 50, and 50. So we just keep bringing these up. I'm good with 50 faith. I'll probably be bringing up strength, getting that done at 60, and then we'll jump back into faith. want more physical damage. I mean, like I said, it's about as good as it's going to get, but you can get a little bit more from physical going into those higher levels. Let's turn in our last bell bearing. So now you have all your somber stones. So we know we were ahead all these, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Only ones you're missing are your somber 10s and then your plus 25s, but those are limited. We've talked about this before. Now, what is really cool is we're gonna go get another armor set, which I would tie with looking as good as this one. I think it looks better. It's fucking cool, guys. It's maliketh set. So if you like that, just wait. Check it, bro. Check it. So we got. I don't really care for its helm, if I remember correctly. Yeah, its helm's right here. I guess we could pick it up. That's this full set. That's actually something to write home about, in my opinion. I never got the helm before. Probably not going to wear the helmet, if we're being completely honest here. But the rest of the set is so good looking, man. It is. I can't wait for you guys to see this shit. It's one of those sets that truly just stands out. Look like royalty. Look at that shit, dude, with the fucking fancy ass cape and shit. I'll typically wear it with something like, I don't think it's that one, it's the other one. Oh, I didn't get the other Banished Knight helm. It does look really good with the one we have too, though. And then I'll usually go with like Blythe's gauntlets, because those look really nice with it. Where are you, Blythe? You're usually around here. Oh, they're there. So, I don't think that looks bad at all. Oh, it is. I don't know how the fuck that's heavier. I truly do not understand. Oh, it's not that much heavier, though. You have to go back with like a regular shield. I bet you that one wouldn't look bad with it. Yeah, there we go. So, this medium shield, you gotta remember, has phenomenal stats. Now, talking about really good stuff, so we'll do an order. Placidusax, you either have Placidusax Ruin Spew Golden Breath of a Dragon Lord Placidusax. That's that shit that in the world attack he did at the end. It was really giving me a lot of trouble. 36 Faith, just a regular incantation. Although it looks like Dragon Communion, it's not. It's a regular incantation. It just so happens to be a dragon ability. And then over here, if you like thrusting weapons, which I don't, this thing's badass, bro. This is going to be a quality weapon. 37 dex, 18 strength, physical, and lightning. And then the Thundercloud form after board lets you turn to a cloud, zoom all around and fuck shit up. So, really cool. I don't know which one I'd rather want. I mean, we're doing a faith build, and that's like fucking crazy. And then this one. This is another one where I'm like, we're duplicating this. Because, for one, maliketh's Black Blade, it does holy, it does physical, but you actually get the destined death element on this weapon with the Ash of War, so that's super cool. Strength Faith all day long. Then you also have Black Blade. Black Blade spinning slash to the midst wave of light. So this allows you to apply Destined Death on bosses. Now what I like about this one is anytime I go into a boss fight, I start hitting him right with that. So we're applying Destined Death at the start of the fight. It's just very tactical, you know, very much worth your time. I don't know if I could pull it off though, because that might be worth 2. Where are you, Destined Death? You liked it. Yeah, that one's worth 2. So we have to get rid of something here. You know, I don't really care about the buffs that much. So, I mean, they're nice. We should probably keep 1 on for sure. But, I mean, I'm okay with it. Being able to have this is just really nice. So we can still put a buff over here if need be. And, you know, it's still very much good with the pyromancy build. By the time we get done with the Consecrated Snowfield and Halic Tree and going over our boss remembrances, just wait until you see the in-game spells and shit we're going to have. It's fucking crazy. So now, before we go on over to the Halic Tree and to the Consecrated Snowfield, it is important to just kind of remind you guys that we still have Mogwin's Palace, right? However, since you enter the DLC here, I'm probably just going to do this last, because it is really high level. It is a pain in the ass. That way we can grab some more levels, grab some more gear, but since it leads to the DLC, it does make sense to do that last. So going on over, like I said, even if you took out maliketh, you could still complete the quest line here with Garank. Problem is we're still missing a death route. It'll come next episode. You see what I'm saying? So he's still here. You can still do that quest. So what we're going to be doing instead, so we can progress forward, is jumping on over to the Grand Lift of Rold. Then from here, next episode, we'll be working our way on over to the consecrated snowfield. So, like I said, that's the plan. Consecrated Halic Tree. We'll do the final bosses, and then we'll probably go take out Moog so we can enter the DLC when we're all wrapped up. We'll check notes, make sure it's possible, but we'll let you know from there. So, y'all stay tuned, and we'll catch you back here shortly.